Lady Lily, back with another video, and we have the Housewives of Potomac review, season 3. I want to say this is episode 6. Karen says she is feeling alone now. Ashley has left. In the last episode, saw that Ashley left. She went back to college to start her junior year. Karen is working on building her own empire. Apparently, she has a hairline that's called Icon. It's for women who have lost their hair through sickness and disease. And she wants to expand her Icon company by creating a fragrance. She is saying pretty much that Ray hasn't really, been talking to her much and communicating with her like she would, like she wants him to in regards to the financial situation. And actually, while she's, mapping out stuff and planning for her fragrance line, he comes in and talks to her, and she is, pretty much asking him for his help and support. And what I took from it was that he can help her out from the business standpoint, but financially, it sounds like that he's not going to do that, or he can't do that. But Karen said she does have money put to the side, so we'll take a look and see. I'm just trying to adjust my notes here. They won't sit up right. Come on, sit up. She said she will. She has her own money, so she's gonna move forward, and we will see what happens with that. The girls are meeting up to go to a rejuvenation center. What are they doing? That psychotherapy, in which they stand in like the cold chamber for a certain amount of minutes. They get like these their legs go into certain type of pads to massage them and draw out circulation. And pretty much they were recapping the soccer event. Charisse asked Candace, did her mother pay for her ring? Now Charisse was joking. Now Charisse thought she was joking, but Candace kind of took offense to it because, as you know, in last episode, they were, saying, Candace told her mother pay for a lot of, things in her life. And, Cameron was just saying, Candace give away too much, information. And so, that's how they got back on that conversation. Ashley is planning a trip for the girls, and she's it's at Nemo Collin or something like that. And she said, yeah, all 7 girls are going. And they were saying 7. 7 means even Charisse is going. So the girls are excited. Ashley, pretty much was telling them, it's been real stressful with things with Michael, things with her mom, and she just really needs to get away. So the girls are excited. They're going on a trip. Giselle is packing for her trip, and she is reaching out to Sherman because she want to talk to him before she goes. And she said that, Sherman's been acting weird lately. The communication has been off. So she doesn't know what's really going on. I mean, he spoke to her, but he just seemed like he was a little, I took it as he was a little, standoffish, but we'll see. Men act funny at certain points in time, so we don't know. Michael and Ashley went bike riding, and she was just saying how she got to be careful because, this, something about the bike riding can make her butt flat or something. And, Michael's saying, flat is good. And it's just like Ashley looking like, no, I'm not trying to lose my butt. So they is, of course, discussing her mom again. And then the dad, not the dad. Well, Michael is old enough to be her dad. He was pretty much saying, you need to cut her off. And Ashley was saying she thinks they would need to help her for a few more months. And, Michael was pretty much saying, what's the consequence? And then, he said, what consequences are you giving her? And then Ashley took it back on him. She said, well, if I don't stop helping her, what consequences I'm going to get? Apparently, we do find out in the segment of the show that Ashley is not only paying her mother's mortgage or rent, which is $3,000 a month, And on top of that, she's giving her an additional $1,500. So that's $4,500 that's coming out in addition to what they have to pay for whatever their home is and other expenses. So when I saw that, I was just like, "Ooh, it's one thing to, to pay the mortgage or the rent. It's another thing to give $1,500 on top of that. It's like, can you like try to meet her halfway somewhere? At least pay for the ComEd bill or the cable bill or some bill." But yeah. And then Michael, he was looking kind of weird. He had like his nose was like all choppy. It was like it was cracking and peeling. I don't know what the hell he got in a fight of. I getting old or peeling. I don't know. But they pretty much was back and forth, and the conversation pretty much, went nowhere. And then they just decided, you know what, we're gonna head on back and end the end the day. Robin is packing, and Juan buys her, brings her shoes for her trip. And she's excited, and then the boys, one of her sons is yelling, kiss, kiss, kiss. And she was, kissed him. She was just telling Juan that, their things are going well. Apparently, she's into the business of investing real estate. So she is buying property and flipping a property. It shows in this segment, it shows her and her mother working on their next property. And they were saying how they can flip the house and get $73,000 out of it, because Robin is determined to never go broke again, never be in a situation where her gas and lights or whatever got to get turned off. So she is really hustling and trying. That's what I took from that segment. Candace, Monique, and Ashley went shopping for the trip. They are trying on clothes. They are having a good time. And then all of a sudden, Candace, they asked her how the wedding plan was going. And then Candace, got a little emotional. She said she's, her mom is causing a lot of, stress on her because her mother wants things this way. And her mom is overbearing. And her mother is, demanding. And I guess Candace feels so obligated because her mother does so much for her financially. Candace is a 30-year-old woman, so it's not like she's fresh out of school or whatnot, but it's just that her mom has invested so much, into the professional side of her life and the personal side of her life. It's just crazy. So she's also looking forward to the trip as well. But they was trying on clothes, nice outfits, a lot of things complimented, their figures. So they were definitely ready for some fun and Nemo Colon, 4 hours later, Ashley get a text from Monique, and apparently Monique had fell asleep. And Monique ended up in a car accident. And it shows the move forward to show Monique. Chris is helping her get some of the kinks out her body. Like her neck she got kinks in her neck, and it's affecting the way she turned her neck. And it's also affecting, her back. And then, Chris was pretty much telling her, you probably need to stay here and go to the doctor and get some rest. Because what had happened is, after the girls went shopping that day, Monique and Ashley or Candace, one of them went with her, and they went and had lunch and had some drinks. And she ended up falling asleep behind the wheel, and she hit a little tree. And by her hitting that little tree, she woke up, and she avoided almost running into a bigger tree. So she's saying that she's been overwhelmed still. She don't have the nanny just yet. She's staying up late. She is, not getting enough sleep because Monique really want to jump into these business ventures. And, she's really trying to strike it when the iron is hot. So, yeah, that's just a sign for her. She needs to slow down. She needs to, work on purpose instead of passion and spreading herself thin. The bus pulls up while Chris is finishing up working with Monique's kinks, and it's Ashley. Steps out the car, step off the bus, and Monique is pretty much showing, Ashley, the damage on the car And she was, oh, that's going to cost a lot. But, Monique said, well, better, Chris paying to get a car fixed versus paying for my funeral, which is true. I can kind of relate to that because, as I told you, I was in a car accident February 1st, and I was so bummed out about the car being total and had to get, a new car. And like one thing my coworker said to me, she said, it's okay. She said, we can get another car. We can't get another you. So she was, absolutely positively correct. On that matter. So while they're looking at the car and stuff, the rest of the girls, they look at the car and they get on the bus, and then the rest of the girls start arriving, and off they go. They got their drinks, and they're ready to take off. So Ashley mentioned that she had been here before when she was a child. Her grandparents took her, but they didn't go, she didn't go too often because this place is kind of expensive. But she did mention that, through the summer, they would, they had a trailer in Indian Acres. And then Giselle was being a dirtbag. She was throwing shade. She said, oh, so you lived up in a trailer? And she said, yes, there was like a summer thing. It was a campsite, pretty much. Just damn Giselle always just throwing some type of shade. And then, Monique said, why is she always questioning, about somebody's homes? And then it flashed back to, Giselle saying, Monique, oh, you don't have a home. They just said they're just sick and tired of Giselle and her, trying to say people don't have homes, questioning about their homes. So Monique mentions mentions the comment that Sharice said about her mom paying. Monique mentioned to Candace that, the Sharice said, your mom pays for your, mentions the comment that Sharice said about her mom paying for Candace's ring. And Candace said, yeah, I didn't find it funny. I felt like it was really a shady bitch moment. And Sharice was like, so you're calling me, a B? Candace said, I'm referencing to the moment. And Giselle feel like Candace is being disrespectful to Sharice. Monique sat in the middle of two because Sharice and Candace got into a back and forth talking debacle. And, Sharice was saying, I don't play with kids. Candace said, I don't play with old women. And then it was like, she said, you're referring to me, like I'm a child, I'm 30 years old. And she said, well, you're acting like a child. And they was going back and forth. Karen was over there just taking it all in. The other girls was having popcorn. And Karen was like, she said, this is good. And the great thing about it, it does not involve me this time. Sharice was like, you don't want the cha-cha to come out. And then Candace like, well, who needs an alter ego name? Hell, you don't want the real Candace to come out. And everybody said it was for Candace, because Candace wasn't backing down. Candace was like, yeah, you don't want the real Candace to come out. You really don't. I think Candace got a little gangster in her. Don't let the pageant cute girl fool you. I think she know how to turn it on and turn it off to make it, make it do what it do. The ladies arrived to Nemacolin, and the ladies were quite impressed. They're getting greeted by nice-looking men holding champagne. They get picked up in luxury cars, and they are taken to their house location that apparently supposed to sleep 7. The girls arrive to the house, and Ashley says she has learned from last time how to take care of these ladies and make accommodations. So the first thing they do, they sit down, to a meal. Of course, she got better chef, better food, better setup. Giselle is, okay, what she said there has. Oh, yeah, so they sit down for a meal, and as she's saying, there has been some stiffness in the air, and we need to come together. It's not cool. We need to talk. And Giselle goes back on the whole Candace. She's saying Candace is pretty much needing to apologize to Sharice. Candace says Sharice needs to apologize to her. The girl was saying that the Sharice was the girls was just saying, Candace shouldn't got mad because she was just simply asking a follow-up question. Karen was saying, you got to have tough skin, but she told Candace, you talk too much and you have given too much information. And she said, these are the type of women that will take your information and turn it against you. So the ladies, some of the ladies felt that Candace hit below the belt. Candace does not feel that way. Then Giselle just went off the deep end. She said, you need to apologize to Sharice. She's my friend. And, she's my friend. And, she was saying, like, go sit down, go to hell. And then, shut the blank up. And then Candace was like, you and your wig need to shut the blank up. And then it was going back and forth, back and forth. And the guy came down there with the wine. And that is the end of this episode. So it will be continued next week. So we will see, I think I don't know if it's got to get worse before it get good. But I just don't understand these old bennies. I don't get it. I do not get it why they always got to bicker. You're on vacations. Let me and some of my friends take our trip on Bravo. Let us take your trip because we'll show you how to vacation because we all work hard. We don't travel much. So we will be all in for having a trip and making it peaceful. But I'm sorry that this was a delay getting this together. I had house guests this weekend in town. My cousin graduated from college, but my house guests were friends from college. They was up here to go to one of our college friends' bridal shower and bachelorette party. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend because I had to go out of town. Which was like 2 hours, 30 minutes away. I went to my cousin's graduation. I have been to every graduation since preschool. So it was only right for me to continue the tradition and go to the college one. So I'm late getting this up. I had guests. So it was her birthday yesterday as well. So we did dinner and all that. So by the time I got to watch the show and I was pretty beat, so I said, better late than never. That's what Rowley say, right? So you're getting it, just late, but like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos. Peace.